everyone. This is Carol from Practical Mystic. Hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to continue with part 4B with symbols, hand gestures, and what the major cards are holding in their hands. We're going to talk about a lot of things today, but I think it's important that I kind of recap the symbology of what the right side and the left side of the cards, our bodies, and occultism represent. The right side is positive, it is masculine, it is active, it is conscious, and it is the light of the sun. The left side on the other hand is said to be negative, feminine, receptive, subconscious, dark, and represents the moon. Keep that in mind as I do these three cards today. Okay, the pillars, another important thing that I want to cover. On the Rider-Waite deck, for the first time, the pillars are correct, i.e., the right side is the masculine and the left side is the feminine, the white and the black. But we continue with the mirror effect when it comes to the High Priestess sitting in the middle. It is the opposite. Her right is her left and her left is her right. The other thing I wanted to bring up for you is that in some tarot decks, the right side pillar is red, indicating the symbol of the sun, and the other pillar is usually blue and it indicates the moon. All right, so what is the moon in astrology? Well, the moon in astrology can represent the memories we carry from one incarnation to another, emotions, many things, the subconscious, of course, and what the High Priestess is doing, really the key word is she is blending those two energies. And in the Rider-Waite Smith, the crown that she wears is said to be the waxing and waning moon with the full moon in the center, but others believe that this is the horn of Isis with the full moon in the middle. And Arcana 2 is also known as Isis Unveiled, and other occultists sometimes call this card Gnosis. And we know that Gnosis means knowledge, and I've also seen occultists call this card the door of the sanctuary, and that relates to the two pillars being the entranceway to the Temple of Solomon. So there's a lot of ways that the High Priestess and different tarot decks will be depicted and will be identified and interpreted. Now, the partially hidden scroll here on her lap is knowledge of the cosmic world, or the Akasha Records. Now, what is that? The Akasha Records is said to be the universal events, the thoughts, the words, the emotions that have occurred in the past and what is to occur in the future. And a lot of us sometimes would love to be able to look at our own personal Akasha Records. Also, the scroll is inscribed with the word T-O-R-A, which is said to be the phonetic equivalent of the Hebrew Torah, spelled T-O-R-A-H, which is divine law. Now, she represents this hidden force, this hidden knowledge that we have the potential in each of us to tap into. But she will not reveal this information to anyone. We must kind of each learn to see through the veil, i.e. Isis unveiled, the illusions and the falsehoods of our own thinking, our own consciousness, and of our own making. Now, because part of that scroll is hidden in, and her right hand is hidden, this is nothing about the conscious, okay? Her left hand is revealed. This is all about the unconscious, what is unknown, and we tap into that through meditation, contemplation, this search. And when it is revealed, we take steps to heal it, identify with it, neutralize it, and then we integrate it and become greater. Then we have the power of both of those energies within us balancing out. Okay, so that is a little bit of the High Priestess that I wanted to talk to you about today. All right, our next card, of course, is card number 3, the Empress. Now, we go from the Virgin Priestess to the Mother, which is the Empress. So, and she is the consort of the Emperor. We'll discuss him in a few minutes, but that is her consort. It's important for me to point out right away the heart-shaped shield that sits on her left. Okay, remember, mirror image. The right is the left and the left is the right. Okay, so this is active within her as well as everything on the right side of her body. One meaning, which seems to be more modern, is the connection of the heart with the heart chakra. And it is the center of higher love as well as called the high heart or higher wisdom. And it is, of course, the heart has 3 chakras above and 3 chakras below. If the heart chakra is balanced, that is going to affect both the upper and the lower. And that is said to be very, very important. Now, the other thing about the heart shield, and we can look at this as representing Venus, which is the glove. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But I think it's also important to know that the occult meaning of the heart is subconscious. Again, there's going to connect us with the High Priestess, which is all the subconscious, but it certainly coincides with one of the Empress's quality, which is to use and bring out generational ideas, creativity, imagination out of the subconscious storehouse. It is laid dormant and hidden. And once we tapped into those abilities that we didn't even know we had, we are more genuine, creative, and whole. All right, back to the astrological glove of Venus on her shield. Venus is the ruler for the zodiac sign of Libra. Balance again. Everything is balancing. It is also the opposite sign of Aries. How interesting. The Emperor, her consort. Now, this brings additional light to which will literally mean balancing of opposites. We as humans suffer constantly through lack of healthy relationships with ourselves and others. And I have heard it say over and over again that the most important relationship we have is with ourselves, to understand ourselves, to love ourselves. Also, Venus is the capacity of both male and female, because we're going to talk about this symbol here, both male and female, to be affectionate, to have the capacity to unite and to be loving, and in that be creative. Now, again, looking at the glove of Venus, the circle is the spirit. Okay, the cosmic world. It's above the cross which is really here depicted on the High Priestess, the solar cross here, which again, masculine, feminine, vertical, horizontal, conscious, unconscious, unity of both. So here is it's on the glove of Venus, and it's on the heart shield. So here we have spirit uniting with the opposites. Okay, back to what she is holding. Well, she holds a scepter with a ball on top in her right hand. And she holds it high. So and it indicates that she is aware of that power. And there again are going to be different interpretations. Some occultists say that this is again the glove of Venus. We have the ball, we have the vertical line, and we kind of have a wrap here, which almost makes indicating the connection of the two. And it also represents that she reigns through love and the feminine intuition principle, which upholds her generational forces that she brings into the world. And being in her masculine right hand, this shows that she has masculine power that she combines here with love. Also, the scepter seems to have chaffs of wheat, and we know that wheat symbolizes fertility. It is here all around her, and the globe on top represents the world. And it's also a reminder that through the Empress, that we create our world, we create our reality, and that we have the power to choose, to love, as well as its opposite. And it is through our will, because she's holding it with her thumb in the back, but it is through our will that we determine our actions, what we will do in our lives, in our world. Now let's go to the other side of her body, which is the left side. You can see that as a female, she is not depicting that femininity. She knows that she has it and it is balanced. And her hand is an open palm, rest on her knee, and you do not see her shoes. So she is kind of placating that part of her and emphasizing her ability to use her masculinity to create. And it's very important for females to use that assertive, creative part, the action of the male side. Again, she is showing that her side here has this little red shoe, right? And that is being shown. That is her desire to have her power. And it says that she sits on her desire. Look at all this in red. But she will get up and use her power if she chooses to. And I find it very interesting. For me, we do remember that the small finger, our little finger, relates to the planet Mercury. Mercury is our intellect, our thinking, our reasoning. And it is very well shown how that little finger seems to want to wrap around that creative male scepter. Everything is connected when you look at these symbols. To me, it is just simply amazing. All right, so let's go on to her consort, the Emperor. And he holds a gold ankh. Of course, gold is the metal for the sun, and the sun is exalted in Aries. And the ankh is also known as the cross of life. Well, yes, it's all about giving birth and life, whether that's through nature, the stream of consciousness, or generations All right, so here he's kind of mirroring all that. He is combining the masculine and the feminine, because this is not only known as an Ankh, sometimes it's called the T cross or the toe, and spelled T-A-U, and it is the oldest cross used by the first Christians. And he holds this kind of forcefully in his hand. Okay, so this is his left hand, right? Opposite, and this is his right hand, and you can see his thumb is kind of leaning against there, so he is able to it's not wrapped around it, but he's able to use that in almost like a clutch or a lever. So he is aware of the power that he has, that the top of it is spirit, and it sits on the Ankh of his right hand. Okay, now, the soul, this is also known as solar consciousness, and it rules, solar consciousness indicates that he rules and has the strength depicted in this card. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, number one, he's called the Emperor. He is dressed in red, Mars. He has Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, very strong. Orange indicates he has courage. He has mountains of strength behind him. He sits on a throne that looks to be very, very strong, powerful, meaningful, reasoning ability, and of course his feet are in armor. But what's very important to understand is that he rules with strength, yes, depicted by everything in this card, yet with the sensibility and emotion that is represented by his blue undershirt. Blue is feminine. You heard me say that. And look at how we're shown this blue on the right hand, a little bit here on his left side, but that says that he understands the sensitivity and the emotions of the power of the world, and uses it to dominate and rule his world. He has reconciled again the two opposites, because the blue shirt is his undergarment, what he knows. All right, now he not only rules with the feminine power, he rules with the power of love, compassion, and he holds in his right hand the world, dominion, but look at how gently he holds that. Okay, now we know that the left hand is the receptive hand, and he almost holds this globe, openly. He doesn't clutch it. He holds it openly, and we see his thumb here. Just like when we go to check a crystal or we hold something in our left hand, we want to receive what it holds within it. It's receptive. So look at the way he gently holds that in the palm of his hand. Also notice that it is a white globe with a red cap. White and red. White is purity and red is desire. Remember, she sits on her desire. She is able to control her desire. Here he is balancing his desire, which is spirit and matter. The manner that the globe rests indicates that he respects his dominion, and he is receptive to the feminine side of nature. And I think I'm going to end it there. I think it's fascinating how these three cards really work hand in hand, from the Virgin to the Mother to the Father, and how these three, the power of three, Father, Mother, Son, or the Trinity, is the tool of creativity and the balancing of those forces. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks everyone for joining me today, and take care. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.